Hello and welcome back to my Adventureland toy box. I've got the Black Panther with me, and today I'm going to build the entrance for the Jungle Cruise and perhaps start working on the terrain and scenery for it too. We'll see how far we get. It's going to take 2 episodes to build this, so we'll go as far as we can and we'll do the rest next time. And the Jungle Cruise entrance goes right over here, and we're going to begin over on this terrain seam. This is the seam for the first terrain piece where the entrance is over there. So we're beginning on this corner of it. Actually, it's going to be on the corner of the next piece over. And we're going to put this first piece here. It's a treehouse closed room from Building Sets Group 1. That's going to go right here. And let me pull up my screen grab here. Alright, so that's going to go there. And then we're going to put this piece here, which will continue that greenish color around the corner. And we'll put another one over here with the orange facing that way. Okay. And then we're going to put an open room here, one behind it, one in front of it. Then back over to this piece. And I believe I had this set up. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'll put this in here like this. The next piece does matter. I want that piece facing out. And then we'll have another open room. And this will be for the entrance to the bathrooms. Not that that matters in the toy box, but kind of matters in the real park. And for this one, we want to put it with the orange facing out like that. And the one right behind it with the orange facing like that. And so all across the back then we're going to have this particular window style all the way down, just like you see there. Okay, over here, rather than using this piece, I'm going to use this piece. And you might be wondering why I'm doing that. I don't really know. I just like the look of this a little bit better on the back, but you could probably use that other same piece. That would be fine. Might even save a little bit of memory. Alright, back to Building Sets Group 1 and this room here. And across the back, once again, we want these pieces. These windows here. So like that. Alright, and then on the front, we're going to put the tower here in the front with one of these pieces behind, like that. And then an open room all the way over. That kind of creates a balcony area. And by the way, these 2 pieces should not be here. Sorry about that. It should look like that. Okay. Now, for the top of the tower, we'll use this thatched treehouse roof, and this is going to go right on the corner of the tower like that. And that creates that, which is good. And then we need some roofs. And for that, we're going to go to Building Sets Group 4 again and use the Pirates roofs. And let's start with the wedge. I'm going to put that in this corner. And I know this doesn't look exactly like the actual Jungle Cruise building at Disneyland, but it's the closest we can get, I think, with the pieces that we have to work with. Unfortunately, the toy box developers didn't provide as much variety as I would have liked, so we're kind of limited on what we can do. Alright, so there is our building. I like the way that looks. Okay, the next thing we need to add are the docks on the back. And before we can do that, we need to put in at least part of the river. So we'll go back down to the terrain category, and we're going to sit this block up against here, up against this corner like that, and I'm going to drop it down one block, one little nudge. And then I'm going to come out of the editor because I'm going to put down a power disk for the terrain theme. And the power disk that I'm going to use is the Dinosaur World disk. I do not want to switch that entire world, but that power disk unlocks the theme. So now we can go ahead and set that. And I really like this because it has the vines on the sides of the blocks, and it just feels very jungly. If you don't have this power disk, any grassy theme would probably work for an alternative. I kind of like Tink's Treasures. I think that would probably be your best bet. But this is the ideal one. So if you have this this power disk, or you can get it, that would be ideal. But at any rate, we're going to put down another piece of river terrain on either side of that first one, followed by the curve and a curve on this end. And I'm going to stop at that point. We'll put the rest of the river in probably next time. That's enough that we can put down the docks. And for the dock pieces, let's go back to Building Sets Group 4, and we're going to use the pirate docks again. And we need to do these 2 wide, so we're going to put down a row across the back. And I don't care that this is really repetitive because the player's not going to see that one as much as they're going to see the front one. So this one, you want to spin it around every time you place one, because the front and back of that are different. And this creates a little variety across the front, so it doesn't look so repetitive to the player when they're in here. Alright, so there's our dock. And then we'll use this platform to create the overhang. We'll put a row of these across the top like that. And then we can put the roof on. We want to line this up with the edge of that, and just put a row of these wide roof pieces down, like so. Alright, so there are the docks for the Jungle Cruise, and the main building behind it. And that's looking really, really good. Alright, we'll put in some finishing touches next, and I think we'll actually start over here, and let's put in the facade for Aladdin's Oasis. So I'm going to begin with the plants drawer, and I'm going to use the Fantasy Terrain 3. We're going to put this down about a block over from that tall block that's there. So 1, 2 little nudges. So about the width of that same block, and I can't go any further back because of that flat wall piece. So this is as close as I can get. And I'm going to go ahead and style this to use the Pirates theme. I'll just apply it. And I want to put this with that little fern piece, or the little palm piece on the ground facing out like that. I think that just looks a little bit more decorative. And then the Aladdin pieces are up under Building Sets Group 6. And we're looking for the Agrabah archway. We're going to back this up as close as we can get it. It's going to sit on the left there next to that tree piece we put down. And you want the decorative front of this out, not that side. So we'll put that there like that. And the top of that's kind of flat, so let's put a roof on top. The Agrabah dome. And then we'll put a tower here next to that. And this will sit in here as close as we can get to that wall. And speaking of which, this was off a little bit. That should actually be back here. Not sure why I had placed that with the way I did last time, but that's where that belongs. Alright, so there is Aladdin's Oasis. Alright, with that in place, now we can put in some of the plants along the front of this. So let's go down to the plants drawer. We're going to use Fantasy Terrain 2. This first piece is going to sit right up here against that building corner, like that. The next piece is going to sit kind of aligned with it like that, but we're going to flip it around like this. And then this piece will sit in here like that. And this creates just kind of a nice little walkway to get back to the bathrooms, which is good. Oh, there's a little finishing decoration on the front of the building here. Reset that drawer on me, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and pick this piece up and put it down, which gets us back to that part of the drawer. And I have these treehouse windows here. I think that just kind of makes that look a little bit more polished on the front there. Alright, back to the plants drawer. We'll put this Fantasy Terrain Corner 1 right here like that up against that building. And then Fantasy Terrain 2, we're going to slip this in here on the back. And I'm going to put two of these kind of back to back with their flat edges lined up there. And let me grab my screenshot here to make sure I put this in correctly. And then this piece is going to sit in like this, with this smaller tree in here, just like we have it there. And I'll style those in a moment. When I do, though, it's going to change the bounding box of these, so let's put in a couple of other details first. Up under Building Sets Group 3, we have the Main Street USA pieces, and we're going to go to the right. I'm looking for the little rope fence that they use for creating a queue. The rope, the white railing. We're going to put one here like this, and one there like that. That creates a nice little waiting queue to get into the meet and greet at the Aladdin's Oasis. In front of the Jungle Cruise, let's put a couple of little lights. So I'm going to put these barrel lamps here, like that. I think that looks pretty good. And I think that's probably good enough. Alright, let's go ahead and let's pick this piece up here and put it down. And I'm going to put down one more piece before I style these, because I want to make sure this piece is in here. If I don't put it in first, I'm not going to be able to put it in without changing the styles back. But this is going to sit right up here like that. Okay. I'm not going to style that this time, but it needs to be in before we change the style on this. So let's go ahead and theme this now, and we're going to use the Dinosaur Island Cliff Tree. I'll apply that. That's from the power disc I put down a short time ago. And again, if you don't have that power disc, the Pirates of the Caribbean trees would work, so you could use that theme. That would be this one here. But I really like the look of these. Let's go ahead and set this one. This is the only style, or the only one of these we have down. And we got several of these. Again, these are all using the Dinosaur Island theme. Just a very nice jungly theme. I like the height of the trees because that goes really well with that building. This little tree here, we'll style that to use the same theme. That gives us this Dinosaur Island fern, which is really nice. So I like that. And eventually this one back here is going to be one of the Sleeping Beauty Briar Ridge trees, but again, I'm not going to style that today because we've got some other things we got to put in here next time before we do that. And if I set that style, that'll get in the way. Let's see, how are we doing on time? 15 minutes. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter episode today, but I don't really want to get started on the ride back here because once I do, it's going to be at least another 15-20 minutes, and I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be able to stop. So I think we'll call it good for today, and then next time we'll work on the terrain and scenery for the Jungle Cruise ride itself. Before you go, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next episode, and hit the like button and leave a comment if you enjoyed my video today. Thanks for watching, and take care.